There's a clear mainstream view on climate change. The vast majority of the world's scientists believe that the world is warming naturally, but that emissions from mankind are making the warming worse. They warn that if we don't cut emissions, we could face severe consequences. But outside that mainstream view are opinions at very different extremes. Take this man, for instance. He thinks that greenhouse gases don't matter much at all.
Carbon dioxide does not control temperatures or climate on any scale of time. What is important is things that have been left out, such as charged particles from the sun, changes of the Earth's magnetic field, ozone, and the activities of plant and sea life.
So that's all right then. No need to worry. Just a minute though. What about this man? He thinks it could be even worse than the mainstream scientists say.
What the mainstream view doesn't take into account is the very strong possibility that the Amazon will collapse and release its carbon into the atmosphere, that soils will warm up, releasing their carbon to the atmosphere, that the permafrost will thaw out and release lots of methane to the atmosphere, and of course that the ice at the poles will begin to melt extremely fast.
So what are we to make of these two opposite views of climate change? What are policymakers supposed to do? Well, for advice, they turn to the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change.
Well, we've looked at all the evidence from people who say it's just natural sources, and really that isn't the case. We are now convinced as a body of scientists that the increase in carbon dioxide and therefore global warming is arising from human activities on the planet today. But the good news is that we think that if we act now, and perhaps in the next 10 years, it can be fixed.
And even the previously sceptical White House are taking that advice. Today a spokesman said human activities have very likely caused most of the warming of the past 50 years. The question now is what we do about it. Roger Harrabin, BBC News.